In this demonstration, I'm going to introduce you to the grid system, where we take a smaller image and we're actually going to make a larger version of the same image, okay, where there's the same number of squares across and the same number of squares down in each one, except of course these are much smaller and these ones are slightly larger. So we'll start out by having everybody do the elephant first. There's two sides to your paper. We won't do the ticker quite yet. Now on your paper, make sure you put the first name, last name. Don't do the age or the date, and just your period number. And we'll do the same thing, like we'll finish it up and then we'll go ahead and take a picture at the photographing your artwork station and turn it into the assignment. Now, the worksheets you're going to get will have the letters and the numbers already done, but just like you have on yours, I'm going to label A, B, C, D across the top. Make sure they're across the top, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down the side. I'll try to get this off to the side best I can. And when we do this for real, you'll have a lot more room, okay? But don't put them on the lines. They're not on the lines like the A is not on this line. It's in the middle of the square, just above it, okay? So now with the grid system, I can just go square by square. So now I know that this is A1. This is A1 right here. Okay, well look, I have A1 right here. So that just means all I have to do is copy the lines I see in A1, exactly where they are, to this new A1 right here. Okay, and so when you start out, just focus on the outside line of the entire thing. Don't worry about all this detail in the middle. A lot of times kids, they'll get going, they'll do really well, and they'll start doing the details and they'll get a little bit off here and there, just all the way along, and then it'll look really strange at the end. But it's a lot easier to start out with just that outside line first. Okay, so I'm going to start out right here in my A1, and so that's kind of like almost halfway right there, a little bit lower, and it's going to kind of come down, and it's going to curve slightly, and then it kind of curves down a little bit, kind of quickly right about there. Okay, then I'm going to go across. I'm going to do B1, or you could do A2, either way. So I'm going to do B1, so it kind of comes up, it comes over, and then it curves down, and it sort of stops because there's this other line here that kind of comes in. So I'm going to draw that other line, and that sort of comes up here. It kind of comes up past that, and then I'm going to do this line here, kind of gently curves, whoops, curls down into this here, and then over. I think I'm a little off. Okay, I'm really trying not to do this in here, and then again, I'll have this part of the ear. So this little part here, I think I'm a little bit over, but not too bad. Comes up, and then comes down and stops in the middle. Okay, so make sure it's really forcing you to look at the line and just take it a little bits at a time. So just one little chunk. So all you got to do is like focus on this one little chunk. And even if you're having a hard time, you can even like put your hand and cover most of it, and just so you're just focusing on this one little piece, and kind of move it over and do the same thing over and over again until you get the hang of it. But again, make sure you're drawing lightly. You can go back and erase. You don't have to worry about that. Try to have lines that aren't quite as sketchy. If that's the kind of line marks you make, that's fine. But draw lightly, that way you can erase. And again, make sure that you going all the way around, do all the outside first. Okay, make sure you're going slowly. Most people do really well this part, and then they get to the feet and they're like, I'm kind of done with this. I've spent more than 5 minutes on it. I'm going to just do boop boop for the feet. So everything should be exactly where it is in that. So this is in C5. So I got C5 right here. The foot should be here, right in here. There should be a space in here, and it should come up this way and come up a little bit, and there should be space over here as well. Okay, so the grid is there to keep the proportion correct. If you're not following the grid, okay, then it's going to be off, and it's going to be squished, and it's going to look a little bit strange.